Alright, what's up guys? So I just made this video once already and I went like 20 minutes or it was like 15 minutes on just like talking and talking and it was like it's too much for just a simple topic really. So I just wanted to make it again and just be a little more precise and a little more in depth but within a smaller amount of time. So as you saw from the title, probably I named this probably something pretty intuitive or pretty understandable. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to name it though. Basically, this is a way to create movement or really any action um, with speed or with anything in that range uh, without losing the um, what's the word like resolution of the action itself. So a more visual and better understandable way is just show you. Uh, Basically, let's say I have this ball and a wall here, right? And actually, I just yeah, I just want this to be taller. Let's put that equals just to make it like a really like a wall, you know? And then let's put this to 0. So anyway, there we go. So imagine you have this ball and you you have it moving towards a wall and you don't want it to pass that wall, right? Well, if you're moving by 1 pixel each time, when you do touch the wall, when it gets all the way over here, it will stop if you have the proper thing set up, like if touching wall, then move the opposite way, right? Uh, I actually have this here because I was testing something, so I could actually change this right now. Let's say um, forever change x by 1, and then if touching wall, and then we'll take this one right here, repeat until, hold on, forever, this goes here, repeat until not touching wall, and it will be the opposite. It will be x minus 1, okay? So don't worry about all these other things. Actually, I could just take this, actually, we'll leave this here. Don't worry about all this. So now, when it touches the wall, it will stop moving, like it's frozen. This could be any number, like 5, and it will work. And this is one of the problems that you face when um, when doing like a physics engine, right? You get this weird bouncing thing, which you don't want. So you go and you use a block. You'll take this and you'll put this here. Actually, I could just put this here, and then you'll do this. So now, whoops, I have to make this a run without screen. Now this happens. So what's happening here is it will go in by 5 pixels. That's probably more than 5, but you get the idea. It will go in by 5 pixels, and then uh, before the next screen refresh or without the screen refresh, before the next frame, it will move left until it's not touching the wall. So you don't get this bounciness. And that's all good until the jump size you're doing, let's take this back off again. Imagine you're doing, here's 50. It's not going to be enough, but you'll see what happens. You see how far it's going in? There's a point, I think it's like 200 or something. Okay, not 200. Well, it still did it. There's a point where your object jumps over the object. Like this is has a certain thickness, right? So of course it's going to jump straight through because what it did was it moves that whole gap, and now if touching wall, well, it's not touching wall anymore, right? It's past it, so it'll keep moving. So you always think, okay, well, you're gonna have to have a limit, right? You're gonna have to have a limit on how far the ball or the object or the creature, whatever, can move. You're gonna have to have a limit on how far it is. And you usually set this to be your speed. Like if you're moving 1, uh, this is how fast you're going, right? And you change this number to get faster results. So you got 6, now you can move faster. Well, instead of it's so simple. The way that I have this here, it's actually such a simple change. Instead of moving 6, you always move 1. You always want to move 1 because 1 is the smallest unit. If you move less than 1, you're still going to move 1 because it's still going to change per pixel, even if it would just change per pixel like it'll take 10 frames to change a pixel if you're doing 0.1, right? So anyway, you always want to move one, and you want to put this in here, but let's see what happens. It still moves the same speed, and that's because it's still gonna. Well, actually, let's run this. Um, it will, yeah, and you want to run this because of what I'm going to use this for, but it'll still move that speed, so that's not what you want to do. Instead, you want to do something like this. Hold up, wait, is that what I want to do? Yes. And hold up. Yeah, so wait, is that what I want to do? Hold on. 200? Okay, it does go through. So what it is I believe it's actually, let's see, what is it? It is this. Hold on. That works. And then if I do 200, okay, that's what it was. So this is like a setup you can have. So like technically I'm moving 200. So if I here I can show that uh, by like if I'm moving at the speed of 5, let's say, right? You'll see that's definitely 5 times faster than if I do this, right? And then actually I can have this so that it will, just for demonstration purposes, if touching wall, go back to that point. So now when it touches wall, it'll go back. So if I put this to 10, that's moving at the speed of 10. If I put it at 100, it's moving at the speed of 100. But you clearly see that no matter what speed you have, it's never jumping over the wall. And that's really desirable, which I just found out right now recently, but that's I was just thinking to make a good to make a video on it, and there you go. So this is like a really useful tip, I would say. So no matter what speed you're going at, it will always stay on the wall because it's not really moving any faster. It's just repeating that movement uh, more times per frame. Clearly, you guys would be able to use this for a lot more stuff if you just kind of have more time of thinking about it, or if you come to a problem where you need something like this, then here you go. So I just have it named Move. You can name it anything else. But yeah, thanks for watching.